Okay, so hi everyone. This is me, Sarbagya Buddhacharya. I recently joined the CLTP13. So here I am to share some of my experience during the CLTP13. So this CLTP13 is actually the 13th CANSAT or CubeSat leadership training program, which actually was done in during August from 19 to 29 and by of Space Engineering Consortium at Nihon University, Chiba, Japan. So just to give a short overview of what the CANSAT or the CubeSat is, actually the concept of CANSAT was actually given by Professor Bob Twiggs from the Stanford University Space Development Laboratory in November 1998 during the University Space System Symposium, which was held in Hawaii. And as our the first speaker already described that CANSAT or CubeSat training, this CLTP training is actually the training which provides the knowledge about the development, basic structure, and working of this CANSAT at the starting, and now it has changed to CubeSat. And as previously mentioned in the previous session, it was started with CLTP1 in 2011, and the CLTP13, which we did, was about the heptasat, and the training was actually given by Sensei Dr. Masahiko Yamazaki, who is actually the creator of the heptasat, and as well as he's working as an associate professor at the Nihon University. Uh, so, so how did I get into the contact of this CLTP? So, actually, there are some representative who has from Nepal who has already participated in CLTP, in CLTP 7, CLTP 8, CLTP 11, CLTP 12, and this CLTP 13. I got the opportunity to join. So how did I got connected to CLTP? Because the participant, Dr. Abbas Maske, he was the participant in CLTP 7 in 2016. So he has opened an organization called Antariksha Pratishthan Nepal. And our college, Khwopa Engineering College, has signed MOU with them. So we have the collaboration for the student project and so on. So from him, I got to know about the formal CLTP alumni community in Nepal, as well as the UNISEC Nepal chapter. And that's how he approached me for the CLTP 13. And I went to the process. I went through uh, the the selection process. I applied and I was fortunate to be selected. So in this CLTP 13, there were 10 participants from 7 different countries, from UK, Netherlands, Egypt, Ethiopia, Croatia, Nepal, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. And the overall training session was actually started before the date when the training was actually started on site. So before we actually went to Japan for the training, we had online lectures and quizzes, which was held between July 20 to August 18. And then on the first day, that is August 19, the briefing session and the orientation program was held. And the actual hands-on training was held on August 20 to 22. After that, we had to design the mission and we had to implement it, and that was presented in August 27. And after that, we were eligible to be acting like a trainer. So we prepared for the teaching practices, and we did that on from August 28 to 29. So that was the whole training that we went through. So this is the training material. This is the first day where we actually started the heptasat training. This is the first day of the heptasat training. And so we were provided 2 books. One, the first book was the one that we actually followed, which is for CLTP 30, which is very comprehensive and the intensive book. And the second one is the short course, which was for the people or the trainee for whom we trained after we completed our training. So I have put the side view so to make the difference that the actual CLTP 13 is quite incomprehensive as compared to the training that we actually deliver to our trainee. So the first phase was the hands-on training, which was held on August 20 to 22. And on this training, we were supposed to understand the component, and we joined it and we test it. And from the component, we make the subsystem, and we again test whether the subsystem are connected properly or not, or it is working. And from that, we combine all the subsystem to make the system. So that's how the heptaset was created. That's what we did for the hands-on training. So once we had the hands-on training, we were supposed to use this heptaset that we had assembled, and we have learned how to connect it and how it works. So once we know it, we use this heptaset for designing the mission, and we had to implement it. So we were actually 10 people, participants. So we were divided in 5 groups. So in our group, myself and Miss Amila, Dr. Amila was there. So we had designed one of the title, which was like space debris detection. So before we actually jump into uh, to the mission design, we actually discuss how we can do it and how we can divide the job among us, which was a very interactive session. And I really like the company from Dr. Amila, because we were working in together and we divide the job. So because we had the limited time, so we have to divide and work parallel. So before we jump into the actual mission design, we discuss and we decide how we can do and how we can divide the job. And for the mission, we had to find the components that we need to use. So first, after we had the list of the components, so for some of the components were available in the lab, and some of the component we need to acquire from outside. So for that, we went to Akihabara, and obviously we were guided with the teaching assistants. We were very helpful. So from there, we acquired the components and we come back and we join, implement, and finally we had some results. So actually our project has 2 phases. One was related to image processing and another was related to the sensors. So image processing was done by Dr. Amila, because she is an AI expert and she is an expert in image classification. So that was the part she did. And the other part, for the sensor part, make the I did on that part, and we combined lastly. So that's how the project was done, and we presented it. So once it was done, now we were eligible as a trainee. So we became a trainee, and we trained for the group of the people or the trainee who came from the different organization from the Japan, and it was a very wonderful session. And we got the opportunity to learn, and then we deliver it to the trainee. So that's how the whole session was completed. And as a trainee, we did from August 28 to 29. And in the middle picture, you can see that I'm wearing the green T-shirt, having the heptaset, and it has a meaning, because the only the trainer can wear that green T-shirt. So I feel really proud to wear that. I was eligible to wear that T-shirt. So so during this whole period, I had some wonderful experience. Of course, I had opportunity to learn in a very multicultural environment. Uh, I was able to know culture from the different region. I was really amazed to know the different culture from the Croatia and the Bosnia Herzegovina, which I was totally unaware. And the other experience, I know the value of time, because this is the picture when we had the circle time before we actually delivered the training. And everyone was supposed to present there. And uh, and in Japan, as the Ray-san used to told us, that in Japan it's 9:30 means 9:20. So that's the value of time I learned there. And of course, we had a very limited time to do the hands-on training and to do the training to the trainee. So I learned about the training time management as well as project in limited time. So project management, and overall I learned to have a very high productivity in the limited time. So throughout this session, I must mention that we had a very supportive and dedicated group of the TA who helped us throughout the training session and acquisition of the component, as well as the when we were actually delivering our training. So I must say that TA were very helpful, teaching assistants. That's what I mean. So now The overall experience, the program organization was perfect. Course content was very useful. Time management was excellent. Accommodation, of course, the hotel was very good. It's very comfortable. Instructor, of course, well experienced because he was the creator of the heptaset himself. And the teaching assistants, as I said, they were very helpful. Staffs, Haruka-san and everyone, very supportive. And the food and the visiting sport, they were very nice and beautiful. And I must not forget the cameraman because he was running here and there and taking very nice photos. So that's what the overall experience. So after getting this CLTP training, what future benefits I had in mind is like, obviously, I'm planning to have to conduct a technical session in our college or the vicinity who are in, for the student and the colleagues who are interested. And I am guiding some of the student projects in the antenna lab of our college itself. And I guess I hope that I can improvise that guidance. And our college also has a vision to build a ground station for the CubeSats within the college vicinity. So that's the next vision I have. And of course, I am very glad to be the CLTP alumni community of Nepal. So that's the benefits I got from CLTP13. So I want to just mention what are the ongoing projects in our antenna lab. So we are actually making some of the antennas like deep dipole antenna and the egg beater antenna, and we also publish some of the paper in some conferences. And these antennas, we are planning to make some antenna that could be used for the CubeSat that is ongoing, or that the construction of this CubeSat is ongoing in our country. It's like Munal and the Sleeper to Sat. These are the two satellites which are ongoing, and we are trying to. We are hopeful that we can achieve to that level that we can make a ground station to receive some data from these ongoing satellites when they are actually launched. So I must acknowledge my college, Khwopa Engineering College, who actually helped me to join. And Antariksha Pratishthan Nepal, UNISEC Nepal, and CLTP alumni community who actually introduced me to CLTP. And of course, the UNISEC Global, Nihon University, Chiba, Japan, who actually deliver and accepted my application and provided the opportunity to join this training. So in overall, this training is like a journey for me from a trainee to a trainer, because when I joined this training, I was a trainee, and at the end, I was a trainer. I was training, so I feel the whole journey as a whole. This CLTP program of 2 weeks, I had a journey from a trainee to a trainer. That's how I view it. And of course, it has a phase of learning and implementing and then testing. And then when you do all the things, you feel like you achieve something. So it gives the feeling of accomplishment. So that's what I experienced throughout the session. And of course, throughout the session, I got the opportunity to share the culture from the different regions. We had a kind of bond at the at the end. I think I feel like that because although we were for only for the few period, I mean for a short time, it's just 2 weeks, but I think we had a very good bonding with all the participants as well as the TAs. So that's what I feel. So yeah, so that's was the end of the training. But although the training has ended, but I think it has ignited hope and the determination inside me, so that I can have some research or something related to that for further exploration in the space. So that's the whole experience, that the future outcomes or some ignition that I have through this CLTP training. So I think that's all for my experience sharing. Thank you.